to go back to a point that you made in the beginning of your answer that this is a debate that we've been having since the early 1990s around what is the role of encryption. And in your view, I mean, is there any way to preserve the benefits that we get from these privacy enabling services while allowing government or law enforcement access to encrypted communications?
I think there has been a kind of, again, this is magical thinking that you see sort of cropping up like mushrooms because the will remains, even if the facts are sort of inconvenient, right? Is that, law enforcement, governments, large institutions, corporations would like access to this data, right? However, you cannot break privacy for some people and leave it intact for others. It's a kind of all or nothing proposition. And this is the facts at the kind of technical level. You can't have a backdoor in it, for encryption that only the good guys, as sophomoric as the framing of good guys and bad guys is in a nuanced and adult world. You can't have encryption that has a backdoor for only the so-called good guys that isn't then exploited in some ways by the bad guys. That is then a vulnerability that is open for exploit by everyone else. And it ultimately breaks the privacy promises that all of these institutions also rely on, right? Most people in government use Signal. Most people in law enforcement, well, I don't actually know about law enforcement, but I was in government for a minute, and that is very clear, right? People understand the value of privacy when it applies to themselves. It's this magical thinking that somehow leads people to hope, to wish, to sort of falsely believe that there is a way to break privacy, but only so that I can get to those other people's information. Somehow my information will become safe.